Oh, what happened? What happened? Are you all talking? Is this something I should be listening to? Apparently not, because Marcia's covering her mouth.
Okay. Hi, Ian. Oh,
Hi, Marcia.
there's. Is that better? No.
No.
There.
Hi, Malia.
Hi, Anne.
It's not doing it. But when I do
Now try it.
try it now. What was the extra one?
It was both of them. You were doing one.
One and not.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I obviously. One was good.
All righty. I'm gonna hit record. Good evening, everyone. It is Thursday, July 2nd. This is Bluff Planning and Zoning regular meeting. It is 6:01. I call this meeting to order. We'll start with a roll call. Malia Collins, Chair.
Marcia Haydenfeld.
Aaron Brown.
Erin Nelson, serving as town manager.
Perfect, thank you. And Brian Whitney has an excused absence. He will be with us next meeting though, yay! Starting with the very first thing on the agenda, approval of June 4th regular meeting minutes. Let me pull those up wow, I have a lot of tabs open. June 4th, here we are. Okay. So, these looked wonderful. Thank you, Erin. We have on number 3.
Didn't Anne say that they had researched 5 similar small towns? I know that I said I looked at some small town stuff, but I don't think I said the part. Anne, did you say that?
Yes.
Yeah, I just think it was Brown. It's not a big deal, but I haven't done enough research on other codes to know that. Thank you.
Perfect, good catch.
Did I do one more? That's not.
Looks like not in this one.
I would move to approve the minutes from, which one are we on, June 4th, excuse me, as fixed, as amended.
I second that.
Perfect, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, and these minutes are approved as edited. Thank you, team. Moving on to our June 18th. Wow. June 18th, there you are. Okay. June 18th. I can edit here.
Left out the on wheels and has references. Oh, I think it said section B was intending to address tiny homes on wheels, which would have simpler. Concern regarding the code is that section B includes wording for tiny houses on wheels and for tiny houses. I think that's what our problem is. So I think that's what we need in the minutes, is that's what we're gonna go look at. we didn't correct it here, we just found
Right.
what was bothering us.
Right. The concern regarding the code is at section B. Yeah,
All right,
cool. Looks good.
okay.
We have approximately,
For hosting and, oh, I was worried if we said August and it was September 1st or July 31st for some reason, that people would go, that's not what you said. So I'm just thinking we don't have a defined schedule yet,
yeah,
so.
sounds
I
good.
think
Cover our own butts. I
Yeah,
like it.
well, I think we said we hope by August.
Yeah. Perfect. Looks great. Thank you, Erin.
I would move to approve the minutes for Thursday, June 18th, 2026 as fixed, as amended.
I'll second that.
Amazing. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Perfect. 3-2-3, nothing. So these minutes are approved as amended. Whew. Rough. Okay. Public comment. We don't have anyone here in person. Members of the public, unless anyone here wants to make a comment. I don't see anyone online. So we'll move on to old business. Number 1, review and vote on the sign permit request by Sweetwater Market. I'll pull up that information. I have first their application. And so what this application is, this is an application for the neon sign. I'm gonna scroll down to the image because that makes a little bit more sense than everything else we kind of have here. So, ooh, zoom out a bit, gonna rotate my screen. Sorry if I make you sick. Okay. So what we're looking at here is this open sign that is 35 inches by 24 inches, which measures to 5 feet. Is that what this, 5 square feet?
Yeah, 5.83 square feet.
5.83 square feet. And so I was looking over this before we got started in the meeting, of course, and it looks like the 2 ordinances that we actually need to reference for a neon sign is the sign ordinance and the exterior lighting ordinance. So if everyone feels okay with seeing the application, I'll pull up those ordinances so we can discuss. Yes, Marcia?
Before you take away this drawing,
Uh-huh.
that's the door into her little market, or no, that's the door of the front of the building.
This is the door on the front of the
So
building.
that's like the old door we
So
used
that-
to go into for the big restaurant.
Correct.
And this sign then is at the corner where you turn to the little,
Yes,
so
yeah.
it's mounted, they said, on like a little chain kind of thing on
Yeah.
the wall. Okay,
Construction specifications. Oh, method of attachment, attached to porch with hook and chain.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
good
so
question.
front of the building. And that's gonna become a question when we move on to the next part of your
Ooh,
discussion.
okay, amazing.
Go for it.
Awesome. So going to spend all of this meeting searching through all of my documents so that I can share the right
No,
thing.
it's great that you have them ready.
I think this is right. I had the ordinances pulled up. No, this isn't the right one. This is a image of our website where you can find all of our ordinances. Amended ordinance. Okay, there's exterior lighting. We'll start with sign. So sign ordinance, I actually have us pulled up right where we could be here, with our types of signs, table B. We have a neon sign. According to this table, the zone it is allowed in, it says none except as exempt in section 030A2.
And now if you
So-
go to.
Now I'm gonna scroll us up to that section. 030 exemptions. A, the following signs are exempt from a sign permit as long as they meet the requirements of this chapter. And it's referencing specifically number 2, illuminated window signage, provided that all such signage complies with the outdoor lighting ordinance, section 66070F. So I will now jump to the outdoor lighting ordinance. Quick recap, this is what is exempt from a sign permit, and it's in the illuminated window signage.
Right. To illuminated window signage might be the key language we have to remember as we slip over to the sign code.
That's a good point.
I mean, the lighting code. We are not talking about window signage here. We're talking about front of the building signage,
Have you
Okay.
all seen this at night?
not.
It is very, well, first of all, at this particular juncture, they close before it's even dark.
I was gonna say they close by when
8,
is it? 8
I
or
think it's
something.
8 o'clock. And anyway, but it is, all those open signs that you can buy at Costco? It's, which many people have. Excuse me. This is probably a quarter of the illumination of those. It's just pale yellow. So I would say that if we're comparing this to a neon sign, even if it was winter, those 3 hours or whatever in the deep of winter, it would be practically, I mean, it basically just says it's open.
Okay, well, let's complete our search of the codes because we're questioning the code itself, or I mean, how it fits in the code. So the first thing it doesn't fit with is it would not be exempt from a sign code because it's not in a sign permit because it's not in a window.
That's true.
It would not be allowed. So now get
Okay.
to the outdoor lighting, right? Is that where we are in this, or are we, it's not allowed because it's not in a window? And that's the part we're questioning here.
Well,
Let's match the other part first, and
Okay.
then we'll have the two parts and figure out what we're saying.
so you're saying go back to the sign code?
This
Cause I have
one,
us here in the exterior lighting, reading illuminated window signage, but you're saying it's not a window, so the exterior lighting ordinance doesn't play a part, so let's head back to sign.
well, it does, because the exterior lighting ordinance says you can't have it in any zone except you go up to what you just read, are exempt from a permit, illuminated window signage permitted. Okay, go to the outdoor light. This is the sign code.
This
Now
is outdoor lighting that we're looking at, right?
No, this is the sign code.
No, what's on your screen right now is the exterior lighting ordinance.
Let me see what
I
I'm
can copy
sharing.
the
I might be
text.
sharing the wrong thing. Let me reshare.
Now I'm getting confused.
You just shared the sign.
Okay,
Yeah.
here is the exterior lighting.
Okay, see, it's not.
It wasn't what we were
We
actually-
were in
okay,
the sign. code.
sorry.
Yep.
So illuminated window signage. Illuminated window signs positioned to be primarily visible outside the business structure are allowed only if there are no more than 2 per business and it measures less than 3½ square feet in area,
But we're not in a window sign, so
but it's
move
not in a
on.
window.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So what can you do?
back to sign.
Now, hold on.
No?
What can you do in our outdoor lighting code with illuminated signs not in your window?
Okay, so so signs, we're in the
There,
signs section.
lighting
of
for
the exterior
externally
lighting.
illuminated signs must be mounted at the top of the sign. Except, okay, so that's talking about lights on the
Mhm.
sign. Lighting first, no, where's the neon in this then?
So it's not externally illuminated,
No.
is it? It's internally illuminated?
Yes,
Okay. Only sign copy areas and business logos. What is a sign copy area?
where it says, where it says who you are.
Oh, okay.
Sun shall use semi-opaque materials, no luminous shall be aluminum or backlit sign. See, no, because that's internally illuminated sign is
That's like the gas station lights.
yeah, kind of meat market, and then behind it is the light making you see the word meat
Right.
market. Okay, so don't we have the word neon in our,
Standards for backlit, curfew. So let me search
yeah, search the word neon or
neon.
something.
Except when used in window signage pursuant to subsection 66070F4 of this chapter, neon or luminous tube lighting, either when outdoor mounted on signs or architectural elements or indoor mounted and visible beyond the property boundaries. And this is in section prohibited.
Yeah, prohibited lighting, so except when it's used in a window sign. Neon or luminous tube lighting, either when outdoor mounted on signs or architectural element or indoor mounted if visible beyond the property boundaries. I think that this is not allowed.
Prohibited,
If we're in prohibited
yeah.
and we're looking at the words neon mounted on your building, then this would not be allowed.
Or luminous tube lighting.
Tube, yeah, luminous tube lighting, you could, I don't think they're always neon.
Right, 'cause
anymore.
neon is
They're-
more like
they're,
talking about the
digital
color.
lighting and whatever, so hang on, we're doing.
So I have a question. Pardon me, I'm sorry to have interrupted, Marcia.
Why it's not luminous tube lighting at all, it's LED. And, the manufacturer said it's not for illuminating anything, it's just to decorate.
Correct,
So it's not that, and it's within the canopy of the building,
Mhm.
no different than the open signs of other places. Which a little more illuminating, okay?
okay, and we're talking, we're trying, here.
Okay.
We're pulling words and that was a good answer, that was a
was
good
good.
description,
Yeah,
so we needed that,
yeah.
but.
Thank you, hello.
So sorry, I'm
Oh,
so sorry.
That's okay. Hi, Kelly,
no.
we're trying to pluck the right things here, so that
Right.
when we say yes, no, or maybe, we have what we're saying.
Yeah,
Okay. So, where were we? I'm sorry.
Okay, so we were under exemption, sorry, I was starting to move it
I
around.
know, don't move yet.
And then, oh, we were in prohibited. And so prohibited, it says neon or luminous tube lighting, which it
Okay.
is not according to the manufacturer. So that is some great information. So then in that case, do we head back to the sign ordinance and determine what kind of sign it is?
Well, I'm thinking that not unlike some of the other things that have been brought to us lately, we could be missing some language in our zoning codes that, and we talk about this a lot, new things are invented every day, like a digital lighted sign and a LED lighted sign.
Yeah,
Not right or wrong, but they're out there.
yeah,
And how do we say any sign that has a light? I mean, we can't
Right.
always, so
and that's where the lumens come into play,
from the darkness to the,
right, and the,
just forgive me. So the point is that it's kind of mute here in that we close.
Yeah, and
We're daytime, it's not like,
Ann said that a second ago, yeah. Ann said that.
however, don't forget winter, it gets dark at
Winter
4.
at 5.
winter is something,
Yeah.
yes, okay.
And
So
that's
it-
fine, it
right.
was, yeah, Ann said it a minute
Yeah.
ago, as you were walking in.
Well, and should that be part of our discussion? Excuse me. Kelly, you could answer this as the days grow shorter. Many, like, okay, I hate to use KNC as an example, but I'm going to make KNC an example. They close earlier in the winter time. I'm not talking about signs here. I'm just asking a question. Kelly, would you think that you would close earlier in the winter time like other businesses do?
The state of Utah, requires that we stay open for X amount of hours, so
Oh, okay.
that's kind of, iffy. So I can't say that for sure.
I was
Okay.
about to say the liquor license laws would
Now-
kick in.
If it's worse than other open signs throughout town, which I know it's not, then we all, as a town, need to come together and say, hey, we turn it off, even though we're open. You understand?
Yeah, yeah. And we are not, by the way, saying worse or better or different.
Right,
We're
no,
trying to
but-
find it.
You know, my standpoint, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. So I brought us back up to signs on the exterior lighting ordinance. And so even though this, I feel like what we're looking at is an internally illuminated sign, even though it's not the standard type of internally illuminated sign that we typically will see. Because what I think of when I think of an internally illuminated sign, the lighting is coming from inside the sign. And so that typically is like on the gas stations, it will be a light that has the two sides that are lighting up. And that becomes the sign. But I feel like that's the only thing that really fits this otherwise. Because it's internally illuminated signs shall use semi-opaque materials for sign copy such that light emanating from the sign is diffused, transparent, or clear materials are not allowed. Non-copy portions of the sign, background, and graphics shall be made completely opaque.
Which it isn't. They're not opaque. It's the only thing that's lit are the letters, and the rest you see through.
The letters form the word open, right? Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't have a problem with an open sign.
I
We just
know.
have to figure out. You know,
How it
I like open signs.
So there, I say, it's within the canopy of our structure. Okay, if you notice
Right.
with the porch,
Yeah, the
it's
porch.
within the canopy of our structure, no different than a window or this or that. Of course, there's no windows there at that corner
Right.
of our building. But it's still within the canopy. And that therefore, it's really no different than other people that really need a sign out there.
Yeah, like Duke's is,
Well, let's just work on this. So what we're trying to determine is the size of the sign does not seem to be a problem with regard to total signage. Is that the first part of this? The only thing hanging up is lighting. Is that kind of what we're thinking? Because it's an outdoor sign here,
It's an outdoor sign.
so.
Looking at the,
Repeat again, forgive me, is that it's under the canopy, like in the.
Sure, but we're talking total, remember how we talked the last time, total signage
Yeah,
square footage? Once again, not to be but to find out where it
Yeah.
fits.
so then
Yeah.
is this technically a building mounted sign? Because it's mounted it's mounted from the building. So then in that case, back to our sign ordinance. Let me
Okay.
share it so that Anne can see what I'm looking at.
Okay,
Sign ordinance, building mounted, allowed in all zones, max size, see table A. You guys are in C2? C3, thank you. 86 square feet per sign, and so the 5.83 square foot sign works great. Max height from ground 20 feet. What you got, Marcia?
I don't like that we're thinking of this as just a building mounted sign.
Okay,
Here's. I like the sign, I want an open sign. I'm trying to make this work. If you put a sign on a building, it's a building mounted sign. It appears that the building mounted signs of Sweetwater Market, we're fine for sizing and totals. I don't think it's a question, although I'm not doing the math here right this second. If that's true, great. But the lighting has me concerned because it's not in a window, which is our typical open sign in a window,
right.
and we don't have a definition for it. What my thing would be is if this were to happen, it would be something to the effect of, as this is a unique place, and Erin's going to answer me in a second here. As this is a unique condition, we approve based on changes to come. I don't know how you do that, but Erin raised her hand. She might have a thought.
Oh, good.
No, so the thought that I have is this actually is defined in the sign code. It is an electric sign.
Oh,
An electric
Go.
sign is designed to be visible at night in low light, or at night or in low light conditions. Electric signs use various methods of illumination, including LEDs or incandescent bulbs. However, this doesn't do you any good because
we didn't put a.
it's not slated anywhere. You do reference non-electric signs, but you don't reference electric signs.
Ah,
Why? Why?
so there's a very good example of what we've been talking about of definitions matching our code.
Cause you have a specific neon
Yep,
type of sign, you don't reference electric.
and we meant to because we defined, or we wanted to, or we should have. So there's that LED that I just, you just
Yes.
told us about. This is fascinating. I guess my thought then is, how do you approve something, or how do you vote on something when it's not right in front of you? We don't penalize our citizen for asking a question.
Right.
So I will advise you as not the town legal counsel. but
Absolutely.
If you would like to take it to legal counsel, you are welcome to, discuss further.
Right?
In the state of Utah, it is commonplace if your code doesn't have something in there. It is always the property owner's right to do that unless prohibited.
There you go. Unless prohibited. I like that.
And so unless you can, any of us can point to the code that says right here with this definition, because you did provide the definition.
Yeah.
Right.
If you can say this right here says he cannot, he would be allowed to.
Yeah.
Why you all have to write really tight codes, and
Oh
it
my
also helps the property owner so they know what we're looking at too.
Right. Right.
So unless you can find anything in these two codes that would say no. Now, I do believe that it isn't falling in any of the exemptions of less than 4 square feet or anything,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Kim, thank you, Sweetwater Market, for coming back, for
Yes.
submitting another permit,
Yeah.
that's what we're here for, and it helps us clearly clean up our code. It is not exempt from needing a permit, it does need the permit, but I do not see that you all have prohibited it. However, you probably want to clean this one up too.
Kelly, you are just gonna make us so
You're
much work,
amazing.
no
Thank
matter
you.
what.
The cleaner.
It's good discussion, but
Yes.
It is,
and it's a good
Yeah.
learning experience for all of us.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
absolutely.
Renewed.
I would, to further this along, I would make a motion to approve the open sign request, the open sign permit request from Sweetwater Market as presented. That's my motion, because then I'll finish later under discussion.
I second that.
Discussion.
Discussion is, I believe we help our citizens with what we did, and it's the next thing on our, what are we gonna do about it list. We've seen that on 2 questions so far in the last couple of meetings of
Yeah.
someone else asking something and we went, oh, it doesn't say that. So I'm hopeful that this is the kind of thing we meant to do.
Mhm.
And in particular, because Erin so nicely found us that electrical sign definition. And we could easily stick it in our chart here.
Yeah.
So, thank you, that's my discussion.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Hi,
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. Sign permit passes unanimously. Kelly, thank you so much for being here. I'll get this one signed and get this one over to you guys probably at the beginning of next
yeah.
week.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for attending and helping to,
Sorry for the whole, everything.
No, you guys
no,
have been
thank you
great.
for helping us find
keep
holes.
Coming and.
Yeah.
We keep learning.
This is great.
I'm sure there's more learning curves up ahead.
Oh, you know it. Aaron and I were just saying the town is like a toddler age
Yeah.
at this point.
We are taught, we very much work in, infant stage. Maybe feed ourselves a little, that's we are toddling, we appreciate the patience.
Yes.
Excuse me, I want to
You're
be
welcome.
bigger.
And, town just need to support each other
Yeah.
and help.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. Because if that sign didn't work, we would need to understand why we meant it not to work. You know,
Right.
Right,
And if we get into this discussion and go, oh, wait a minute, we don't like the, you know, the color of the light or something, that's where we're gonna have to find things. But in
Mhm.
this case, it appears that we like.
Yeah.
Good.
thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly.
Please thank Andy too for,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
we love your market.
Well,
right.
thanks.
To keep us moving, number 2, discussion and vote to recommend Tom Heiserow to fill planning and zoning vacancy to town council. I'll start with opening the floor to discussion on any recommendations or non-recommendations for Tom as our 5th commissioner.
And do you want to start or do you want?
I'll let you start. Whatever you would like to do, Marcia.
It's fine, it's fine. I will do whatever. I just wanted to make sure I didn't start talking when you were gonna go.
All right, Martha, go.
I am so grateful that Tom stepped up and I was very pleased to see him come forward as he had been on the planning work group that we had before we even became a town. I personally was not taken by his answers. I found that he kind of was not looking as forward as we think we might be. And therefore, I personally will not make a motion to recommend Tom.
Okay. Anne?
Well, I want to echo some of Marcia's remarks. I think it's amazing that someone has come forward. And excuse me, I really, that's always commendable. I was frustrated by, I've never met him, so I have no prejudgments at all. And I guess I wanted to hear a very positive person who wanted to see planned growth. And for that reason, I cannot recommend him.
Okay. I think that kind of makes our decision, but I'll go ahead and put my comments in there as well. I felt opposite of the two of you. I was thrilled that he was a teacher team leader, and I really appreciated his example of conflict resolution. I have worked a little bit with the cemetery board and appreciate that he would have some of that cemetery board review that he would be bringing in. And I also know that we need a 5th commissioner.
Erin, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Madam Chair, if I might, Erin, could you tell me what will happen procedurally if we don't recommend someone?
It's a good question, since you didn't have another applicant, so you can absolutely make that recommendation.
Okay.
It would still go to council.
Yeah.
You are not necessarily recommending this individual. They can still
Yeah,
override.
exactly.
They are the overriding body.
That's right.
However, they will take your comments into consideration. And then it is ultimately up to them whether they would want to appoint him or
Or
put it
open.
back out, which we
Okay.
have done before.
Right.
If this is not happened before.
Okay. So I would add to my comments two things. First of all, that's true. That is procedurally what we do, which is we should make a motion and then tell the council what we think. The second part of that is I really like Tom and I have worked with him and would be happy to do so. I was just hoping for a more forward-thinking presentation. So if that's true, and Chair would like to, I'm happy to make a motion and then we vote on it and pass that along to council, whatever you direct.
I'm not sure I completely understand what you're
Okay,
saying.
what I'm saying is Erin's right that the town council gets to decide. So we should, if this is true, we should make the motion to recommend Tom and then vote our preference. The town council would receive that information from our minutes and decide, hey, this is what we'd like to do. And I have no problem working with Tom as a really sweet guy to do so. So even if we're not even if it's a 2-to-1 vote, apparently it might be, even if it's a 2-to-1 vote, the town may still go, hey, he stepped up and we want him.
Yeah,
Then if he doesn't hate me, I'd still love to work with him, you know,
Yeah.
be happy.
yeah. I think that's a good idea, to go ahead and push it to the town council. And then after we make the motion, we then in discussion take a pseudo vote of what we would actually recommend the council know. So that way they can.
Okay, in that case,
Wait,
go
can I,
ahead.
can I ask
go
a
ahead.
question? Because I don't know where it's appropriate to do this. Of course, I'm always the one who doesn't know what's going on, procedurally. I have spoken to someone else who is interested
That's
in
totally
applying this. We're not
inappropriate.
gonna talk about that now. Okay, I didn't know when that might
About
happen.
someone who hasn't stepped up yet, in my
No, I
opinion.
don't.
Is that true, Malia? That we wouldn't be talking about someone else tonight?
We wouldn't talk about
No.
someone else. We wouldn't be recommending anyone else.
Oh, I'm not
Oh.
recommending, I'm just saying someone
Anyone else
Yeah.
to town
didn't know
council.
about this and anyway, okay, didn't know. Thank you.
And if town council does not appoint and reopens, that's when the word will go out again and you should tip off a friend going, hey, remember we talked about this?
Oh, yeah.
And that's, yeah.
Okay.
Because we have no idea if that friend will do this or not. You know.
Okay,
I would like to make a motion to present Tom Heiserat to the town council for planning and zoning.
Can I second this?
Absolutely.
I second.
So you're a voting member, it's just typical that chair doesn't make, like,
Okay.
especially when there's only a couple of us.
Right, we
go.
gotta. Okay, discussion. So in the discussion with this vote, let's take another little vote of if we personally recommend.
No, I think that shows in our final vote.
That
The
shows in
dis-
oh, okay, perfect. Discussion. Anyone have anything for discussion?
I think I've already said how I felt.
All right, and all in favor say aye. Aye. Nay,
All
opposed?
yeah, nay.
Okay, and abstentions? None, so we have 1, 2, 2. So then it didn't pass.
The
So then the
recommendation. did
recommendation does
pass.
not pass.
That's what Erin will bring to the council.
Yeah, so
Okay.
essentially I would inform them of your discussions
Okay.
today, state what happened. And then, yes, then it's up to them whether they still want to appoint because they have that ability.
Yeah.
Or put it back up.
Okay, and then I'll send Tom flowers because
Yeah.
I don't want him to hate me. I mean, I really like it, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Business.
It's-
Okay,
it's
awesome.
business.
Great conversation. Moving on, number 3, update and discussion amongst commissioners, zoning code revisions. So my mini assignment on this one was commissioners to review current zones and discuss the number of subzones for each district.
I did add a note today with.
You added a note
In our
to-
notes, in our notes thing, where
Okay.
you go to file, da, 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 da,
uh-huh.
da.
Our zoning outline.
A new one, that the zoning outline is what we did to talk, but we're
Uh-huh.
talking about the first one, zones. And I put a note in our workbook today where you go to cloud, your files, work notes.
Okay,
If
in our
you
working
open-
notes.
There's a working note that I did today when I went, uh-oh, I didn't write this down. And I wrote it down so we could talk. Because I did number 1 zones, I think.
Perfect.
I did a working.
I like it. Okay. So
I'm sorry, I should
zone
warn you.
worksheet. No, it's good. I found it.
Okay.
Zone worksheets for 2026 code updates.
There we go.
Okay.
So what I said was, this is the easy part because if we combine and condense, we could make it a little easier. But a reminder that changing the zones, we're gonna have to change the maps, but we talked about that. We're gonna have less colors, less
Mhm.
if we do this. And third, what I found in just my little homework, when you combine existing zones, it helps because we list all the things we've thought of and only leaves us the things we still have to think of.
Mhm.
So that's just my notes as I was doing it. Now, what I did was I took agricultural, then commercial, then industrial, then residential, and wrote us some notes.
Mhm.
I would like to see, I would like to propose discussion of Ag One being actually called non-developable agricultural.
Yeah, I wrote down green space. for
There you
Ag
go.
One. Yeah,
And you keep it pretty much as it is in
Yeah.
there. Then you take 2 and 3 and call it developable
Nice.
agriculture, and we have to come up with a little bit more better term.
an AD.
Wait,
I
can I say something here? My frustration before we even start this conversation is the map I'm looking at from the 2nd of June is so incorrect that I'm very frustrated having a conversation about changing zones when the map we have from the 2nd of June is very incorrect. There are streets that are missing. We had this discussion about,
Yeah, the new interactive map, right? Is that-
So, yeah. So as we're looking at the zones, it's more of a general overview that we're really looking at. Getting really specific is
Later.
later. So
And
we'll
that,
go-
that
okay,
interactive map, we all agreed needed some, some.
And that's
clean-
actually from the county, the
Right.
road stuff, so.
right,
But
right, no, I realize. But
using
I mean,
this-
I'm just, when I look at these, again, because I looked at 5 other towns' zoning maps, and I agree, this needs to be simplified, but, for me, when we say, okay, A1 is going to be non-developable, whatever term comes up.
Right.
I don't even know where that is. And because this map is inaccurate, I mean,
This map is not that.
The map is not inaccurate. I'd like to, a change of words on that one.
oh, well,
Because it
okay,
is
I'm
still,
sorry.
it is still putting the correct zone. It just doesn't necessarily have property lines correct. And so I'd like to encourage you to actually use the map that I currently have. Do I have it pulled up?
Yep,
The map that I currently have pulled up that can be found on our website, and maybe don't use that interactive map at this point.
correct.
Because
Okay.
this one is going to be easier to use
Yep.
Okay.
until that one does have the corrections.
Yeah, I'm sorry to be a bugaboo. I just was like, how can we change something that I can't? I'm too visual. Sorry.
That's okay. So A1, so for reference of the A1 private, it's mostly just on the east side that I found here on Cemetery Hill. So it's the cemetery, and then
Kind of the great
the great
house.
house.
Yep,
and then there's this piece over here to the
Behind.
east.
up the canyon behind Twin Rocks.
Correct.
Or not over Twin Rocks, but behind.
Yeah.
And then down at the bottom, there's a little bit from down Riverside stuff. So. But remember, if we're discussing changing, then we can change this map eventually.
Right.
So we're using this as a good example of some undevelopable stuff. There may be more, or there may be less.
Yeah.
We may say, hey, we want to be able to develop up the canyon. I don't know. I'm
Right.
just saying. So.
Yeah, because because in that case, what you're proposing, A1, future non-developed
Yeah.
agriculture, is the only undevelopable
Yeah.
district.
Right. So so that's what I did today, is look at this and say, we're combining, and that was from you, Anne, about having less and, less is more.
Yeah, yeah. No, I really appreciate that.
So if ag non-developable says, hey, open space and you can have a bathroom in there, but the, some outhouses,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. And then old ag and 2 and 3 come together, which was interesting for me because when you do 3, it says everything in 1, everything in 2, and here's more in 3. So already you've got a lot of language that's the same.
Mhm.
Then there's some weird language because it says, and short-term rentals. And I believe it was meant to be, since short-term rentals are limited in residential zones, short-term rentals could be in agricultural as well, and I thought that was awkward. I think it should refer to short-term rentals in the RV parks and mobile home parks that we allow in A3. Meaning that, that's when it could become part of it.
Yeah,
If we put
Yeah.
RVs in there,
I
like,
think we're getting into the weeds, so
Yeah.
let's pull it back a little bit.
Good, good,
And get to
good.
that part when we actually start talking about RV park and mobile homes, because I have similar notes.
Good,
But I agree that A1 should stay, and then combine A2 and A3.
perfect. So
And
there
that's
you
kind
go.
of what, since it's 6:45
Yep,
already, let's keep it
perfect.
as a higher view of
Perfect.
combining them, and then save that for RV park.
And then that last comment I put in, should
Uh-huh.
we take golf courses out of C3 and add it somewhere in agricultural? Those are just notes, exactly.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
weed, those are the weeds, sorry.
Yeah,
I won't-
it's all good.
Okay, good, okay, great.
Perfect.
Commercial zones, so I did the same thing,
Uh-huh.
and I read commercial,
Mhm.
and combining C1 and C2,
Mhm.
there wasn't a lot added in C2. So I liked combining those
Mhm.
and then and call it C1 or call it,
Mhm.
and then C2 takes in, or the new C2 becomes everything 3. And there we would go clean up some of our what you can do's
Yep,
and what you can't do's.
yep. That was my thought as well. I said combine C1 and C2 and then C3 keep as is, because that keeps everything. And I have a note, I appreciate the former planning and zoning's reasoning for creating that C3. And so it would be the current C3s become C2, but they are still C3s.
Right,
We just now only have 2.
right. And that's from your research when you talked to Sarah and
Yeah.
stuff, was a little higher commercial needed to be.
Mhm.
So I think we are saying the same things.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Great.
And I appreciate that you also put setbacks in there. I don't want to discuss that right now, but I also have made notes of
Yes.
setbacks on ag and on
Exactly.
commercial, saying, have we gotten complaints? And yeah, so I'm excited to talk about setbacks on those as well.
Perfect. Industrial, we have to figure out where some goes. We- Yep, we have the same notes, and it's not on our map.
Yeah.
And we need to be ready because we're watching it happen all around us. This is the weeds, but data
What is
centers,
industrial defined as?
Great question. I can pull up our code. Give me 15 minutes. Just kidding.
Sorry.
Just kidding. It's right here.
go to definition or for what it says now. Industrial says should be right there.
All right, so factory industrial, major automotive repair, machine shops, manufacturing and assembly facilities, casting facilities, welding shops, wholesale sales, storage yards, lumber yards, wood products, manufacturing, kennels, commercial food production, recycling, solid waste transfer, automobile salvage, towing, utility, telecommunications, or warehouses.
And we would be adding all kinds of stuff that's happening around the world to us, from data centers to other energy generation. Oh, that's
So
good.
we're saying these are allowed,
In an industrial zone, correct?
and where is our industrial zone?
No, we don't have one, Ann.
Good.
Don't have one, and
So
so
we will though.
Well, I
My-
hope not, because I don't want any of those things in Bluff, so.
Well, you gotta be prepared for people who want to come here and do something.
Well, all you have to do is drive over to Virgin, Utah, where they've just let everybody do whatever they want, and it looks like it.
So one of my statements with factory industrial is designate, is it time, public input? Is this something good for public input? when we have that discussion that is potentially in August.
Right, right. Absolutely, absolutely, we want public
Yeah.
input because I totally agree with Anne
Right,
that nobody wants it in town. But someone's gonna come along and say, have I got a deal for you? 200, 24 jobs and it's not gonna suck up your water and this is what we'd like to do. Where can we do it?
yeah,
I
Would
wanna
say go to
figure out-
Blanding.
No, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I don't, wait a second. I'd love to do that, I guess is what I'd like to say. I would love to say go away, and instead what we have to say is what does define industrial for us?
Right.
And,
and maybe we change the definition to where it is more limiting,
absolutely.
if we, yeah,
Okie
Okay.
dokie.
fabulous.
No, I mean, I'm with you.
These are the fun discussions, my friends.
And then residential, so here's the deal, we only have one residential district.
Right,
This is the one where we want to clean up what we say about the size and density, I think is the most important.
yeah,
Because that's where we keep getting stuck.
yeah,
You can apparently by the state and septic world, you can have smaller lots. Do we want some? Apparently you can have closer setbacks. Do we want them? So I think we leave one residential zone that lets anyone live on a residential parcel. But how many or how much can they put there?
I agree, that was my thought as well, keep as is, and then I was starting to jump in on our red line set, and it was kind of the same things.
Okay, so I
Making our
think
density of
we're
things.
very close to these,
Yeah, and so, I
and-
mean, if we go with that, then we are removing 2 of our 8 zones, so going from 8 to 6, which I think is a good amount, I think that's reasonable. And not
with-
that it's the number of them, of
Right.
course, but
Yeah, and by the way, with discussion, who knows, it could go down from there,
No.
if
might become 1, just kidding.
if commercial, for example, needs to be cleaned up to what we can do. Maybe it goes down, but I'm thinking what I wanna come out of this. Is a person to open the code and say, I like this piece of land. And I'm about to put a house and a car repair garage, just the little one, just like we have. So can I do that here? I want you to be able to open this, read it, and see what you can do. And we have seen that we don't always do that right.
Yeah, so many.
So by combining and cleaning, you can open the code and say what you
Yeah.
can do. And as Ann's pointed out, maybe industrial is there, but the things you can do are really small. We don't
Right.
know. So, yeah.
Or we stick with what we currently have and have it defined, but not on the map, and leave that, push that can down the road.
Yeah, well, and I'm worried about that.
Right.
We just watched on state news all day, every day for the last 6 weeks. What one data center can do coming to town.
Right,
They're allowed to have industrial on that land. But what kind of industrial and what are they gonna do?
right,
So we need to.
Really, that is my concern, and oh my gosh, where they're putting them or where they're proposing them or both is just abominable how they're getting away with it. And it's clearly something that within our town, we have a lot of open space that might be just jiggling their little.
yes. Hold on to those thoughts, I'm gonna reel us back in.
Okay.
So I have just pulled up our red line set, our zoning ordinance with RV park amendments. This is the copy that our building department had gone through and put a bunch of red lines in. So with our current discussion and with that document that you just created, I want commissioners to start revising this set. What that means, I shared it with you around like about an hour before the meeting started. I want you to revise it in reviewing mode. Please don't remove anything,
Yep,
but let's stay in suggestion or reviewing mode. Yeah, sorry.
yep.
And then let's make comments, let's put lines through things and maybe start to see what it could look like as we're revising this. And so this is going to, so we can start with in these agricultural zones and kind of start playing with building heights and really getting into it. Like I put a comment in today, structure shall not exceed 2,400 square feet. Why? Is there a reason that that's the case
Yeah.
in that green space? And, you know, just start to dig a little bit deeper into these because I want to get this done.
No,
So
I agree.
pushing us into it. And so start back from the beginning, ignore definitions, like we said. So maybe starting here at, gosh, where is it? The adoption of the official zoning map general provisions, just kind of start working our way through it. And then at each meeting, I'll continue working through our ordinance or outline. So we'll continue having assignments, but also working through this on the side.
Okay,
Well, that confuses me because I'm a little too OCD, although
Okay.
one would know it if they looked at my life. But is there a reason why we couldn't work with this first and get as homework, and then at our next meeting, go through the things that we've changed or suggested, et cetera?
Yes, oftentimes with that, we end up jumping all over it if we haven't made our way all the way through it. So I'd like everyone to make their way all the way through the code first before we start going through and making edits as a team. Because oftentimes we'll say, in this 6/120, I noticed in A that we have this happening, and I'm wondering if it says anywhere else that this is the case. And then we're, as a group, using our time to actually search through the code. Whereas if we've all had a chance to look through it at least one time, run through it with making some comments and really understanding, that
Okay.
way we can jump through and then start edits.
and still leaving out definitions, because
Yeah, Still
definitions
don't
come
touch
last.
definitions.
Just like Erin finding us
Right.
electric signs, and we never used electric signs.
Exactly.
Good.
So that'll
Okay.
just as a good way for us to become a little bit more familiar with it. And at the same time that you're running through it, pulling up that zoning outline that we presented at the last meeting and adding things that you see. So I'm gonna pull that up real quick. I renamed it 626 zoning outline.
Good.
I started to add some things to it today, just
Good.
as we find errors, putting them in there too, so that they're in multiple places. We make a comment on the document, but then we're also putting, oh, this is an error. This is something we omitted. And then I added a new section under changes, removals. We need to remove the sign portion from the zoning code. We need to
Correct.
remove all mentions of land use clearance,
Always, yeah.
anything that's redundant with
Yep.
building code. So there's a lot of work here, but if we write it in multiple places, there's a better chance we won't forget about it.
Right.
and lose
I like
track
it.
of it.
That makes sense. Good.
So let's think a little bit more about these zones. If there's any thoughts that you have to the current zone discussion that we just had, and then I'll assign the next section of this. Let's, for the next meeting, start thinking about challenges we need to address within those zones and kind of start playing with them that way.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and I don't expect you to have worked your way through the code by the next meeting. This is just starting our way through, because it's gonna take us a bit, because it is 40 pages. So,
Awesome.
Okay.
thanks,
Thank you
guys.
for putting up with my questions, because I really, you can tell what a neophyte I am on this.
You always bring something up that reminds us of what we do.
We're a team, we all play an important role.
Yep.
Okay, so new business, items for next agenda.
Okay, I think it's a work session next.
Work session,
So what we just said is what we want.
yeah, working on that zoning code.
Working on the zoning code. And what if you put in, do we want to talk about what we discovered on the sign one, or that'll come up later? I know it's separate, but
I know, I'm worried about if we start working on too many ordinances at once, we're just gonna get
Yeah.
caught and not get any of them done. So
That's fine.
this was discussed at the last meeting as well,
Yeah.
because we found another thing on sign ordinance. So,
okay, no, that's fine. I kind of
yeah,
agree that.
let's work our way through the zoning and then make sign the next ordinance to work through,
Yeah.
unless something else comes up glaring that's even worse than our
Well, here's the
sign.
deal, we can't just go, here, Erin, here's the new sign code, we found the missing sign. This is a process.
Yeah,
So hopefully, if we can start clicking on this, then we're gonna get to say, hey, town council, here's the recommended update of this one. Here's a recommended update of this one.
Yeah,
In fact, while they're reading our recommended update of one, we can be finishing our recommended update of the other.
I
So
agree.
I think
Yeah.
we're gonna, and
Yeah.
Erin's kind of nodding that she likes that. Okay, good.
Yeah, keep signs a second on the list.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, as that, yeah, I really like that you did that. You said that. I don't need to repeat it.
No.
Anything else for next agenda?
Well,
I
are
like-
we resolved the whole question that Steve and Maggie had about their
Yes, I
RV
sent you an
situation?
email with our response.
Okay, great.
And they're up in Montana this weekend, working on what their next steps are.
Fabulous.
Great.
So, moving on to other, I have quite a few others. I received a request earlier this week about a potential subdivision coming through, and I received word today that it might be coming through within the next couple of weeks. So
Okay.
just something, if you want to start looking at the subdivision
Subdivision
code,
ordinance.
we are gonna have one coming across our desks soon, I believe.
Okay,
One quick question, Leah,
Yeah.
that one does require you to address it within a certain number of days.
Yeah.
Does,
Per the new code.
Right.
So if you do receive it, you were probably gonna have to do that in your work session or make a
That's true.
special meeting to address it.
yeah, very good point.
On your radar.
Yeah,
And-
because it's 30 days.
Double check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brush up on it, 'cause,
Okay.
like, they definitely like
yeah,
pressure on it.
if it does come through before our work session and goes onto our agenda, it should come up first so that we can do it. And at a work session, since we're not voting, it would be go through it and see that everything is presented as needed.
and it might be that we need to add a special meeting after the work session if we need to vote.
Correct, if we're
Yeah.
off on timing.
Yeah,
Okay. Good,
yeah. So thank you, Erin, for that reminder.
yep.
Second thing, I'd like to talk a little bit about these zoning maps and a date for public input. So we said August.
Approximately
We
August.
said approximately August. What are your guys' thoughts about, it's not that we want to have a complete code ready to actually share with the public, but this is basically saying, you guys have worked with us and lived in this code with us. Do you guys have anything specific that you want to see?
So you're saying that probably getting input earlier is better than later? Is
Yeah.
that where, if, in that case, pick a day, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask, is there a reason August? It just seems like so few people are here, or is that the point? I'm sorry. I don't know. I mean, excuse me for asking that question, but it seems like everybody comes back in September, and so if you're trying to get a lot of people or a little people.
Actually, that might be great, Anne, because what we're saying is work session July. Then first meeting of August, work session of August to present what we'd like to hear from the people for a presentation in September.
Mhm.
That gives us two good work session things to present them with something.
Yeah,
Cause it's taking us a little while and
It's taking us
Brian's
some
gotta
time.
get back here and get caught up
Yeah.
and new person has to get caught up.
yeah.
So September might be a little more.
Okay, well, let's maybe tentatively plan it for September 17th, our work session in September. What are your guys' thoughts if we were to do it at 5 o'clock before our planning and zoning work session? Let people tell us things. And then at
Talk
6
about it
o'clock
quick.
have our meeting.
I'm not against that.
Okay, let me check our calendar in here real quick. Just make sure that the building is available. Yep, looks good. Okay, we'll tentatively schedule it for September 17th. And I'll try to think of some fun names and different things for it, so more to come. One final thing, Blanding City is doing a land use training on August 20th
Ooh,
at their city offices. It's at 7 o'clock, I believe, so it's right after our regular meeting.
August, what'd you say?
20th. So it's after our work session in August. I sent an email asking today if it's virtual, if it's in person, but if that is something that people would want to attend, we could entertain moving our meeting a little bit so that that training could be attended, because it could be nice to hear from our local county friends.
I would definitely try to be there if I'm available. I have no idea.
So far out.
It's, well, it's a couple days before our birthday.
Oh, right.
And so perhaps Anne and I will have run away by then.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
All right, any others?
I have. one.
Yes.
In chatting with, our building, what is she called? Our building.
Our permit technician.
Permit technician,
Uh-huh.
exactly. In chatting with her, just general, how's your life going stuff, and we were sitting around, blah, 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 blah. One of the things she came up with in, was the idea of enforcement. There's a strange word. And what it was, is that people are doing things they're not supposed to do. And she runs into the problem of what to do about that. Okay. This board doesn't have the power to do something about it.
Yeah.
But in my humble opinion, this board has the need to say to town, etc., would you please enforce the rules we're taking so long and hard to work on? And to that end, there is what was told to me is called a letter of latent defect. And I'm not saying we do this, I'm saying it's an example.
Mhm.
And that letter is, you send it to the person and you say, hey, we told you to get a permit to put in that pipe.
Mhm.
You didn't get a permit and you put in the pipe. So here's a letter that's going to be attached to the property. And that letter says, hey, you about to buy that property? This was never an inspected pipe. Now, I am not saying that's the right letter or anything else. What I'm saying is that to me is an example of something that this body needs to ask town to make happen. Because as of this moment, we have no enforcement, and that's making us crazy. Or I'll speak for myself then. That's making me crazy.
Mhm.
Just chatting with friends and neighbors. Did you see what he's doing on his? Did you see what he's doing?
So follow-up question on
Yeah.
that, is that a planning and zoning, or it sounds like that
It-
might be a specific building thing? Is that something that
It
maybe
is,
the building
it is
department can
not,
request? or
yeah,
that
it is
something that
not
we need to add?
necessarily this board doing this.
Right.
It is this board, in my opinion,
Mhm.
turning to council and saying, town council, this letter of defect, latent defect is an example
Yeah.
of something that was presented to our attorney. Our attorneys, I understand, said no. And that's fine if that's not what we want, but what do we get? Because I'm tired of working this hard to make rules. And I'm no angel, I've blown it, I'm not saying everyone's perfect. What I'm saying is when they're told that they're
Yeah.
wrong, they're sloughing it off. Yes, Erin?
Clarification.
Yes.
What is your discussion related to building code or zoning code?
More building code, which is why it's not our
Right.
job, it's my concern.
Right, so if that is the case, and of course,
Yep.
being the manager.
Yep,
It is the building official's job to do the enforcement.
correct.
So the building official should be doing that.
What I'm
The
hearing,
permit technician, that is not their job, and they should be bringing that to my attention, and I will make sure that's.
and I think that's what's happening here,
Okay.
is layers of the building technician and the building inspector people are working together to get the work done. She does paperwork, he goes out and inspects, they have their jobs, no question. I agree with you, Erin. What I heard was, it's frustrating to be the permit official and say, hey, you didn't get a permit. And the inspector going, well, you did it anyway, see ya. Because they're not having something to fall back on to say, you must do this. I don't know, I wasn't sitting there. I'm hearing frustration, and you, as you know, Erin, have heard it from us. Where's the enforcement? So I am not saying what to do or who to do it to. I'm saying I'd like to see us move on that as a town. As a town is a good way to put it.
Mhm.
There, that's my comment. I don't want to work this hard and have people do what they want. Well, maybe a little.
All right. Any others? All right. The next one is adjourn. Any motions to adjourn?
Go for it, Anne.
Good job. I motion that we adjourn this meeting. Thank you all very much.
Fabulous.
I
Thank you.
second.
Meeting adjourned at 7:09. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you so much,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank